Scotland won last night, 1-0. John McGinn, 28th minute. Boston was rocking, but Scotland won in 1974. Gone. Won in 1982. Gone. Won in 1990. Gone. Is one win going to be enough? Morocco is next. Welcome back to FUT in Review World Cup Daily episode 13. And not unlucky for a lot of us actually, day 3 is done. I'm joined by my very good friend Shaq, who is beaming at the moment. 4 matches yesterday. Scotland won, Brazil drew, Australia shocked everyone, and Switzerland managed to dominate again for 94 minutes and still only got 1 point. Day 3 had everything. And for our Patreon supporters, thank you so much for all your support. But this show will be in your feed almost immediately. Prediction League is live. Link in the show notes. Let's get into it. But my good friend Shaq, how are you this morning or evening?
I am having a great day. It's been a great day. I think it was fun watching Scotland get over the line. I was excited for all my Scottish buddies. I was really excited for you guys. And it was fun to see you guys go through the pain that I go through every single time. Most of you were awake at 2 o'clock wanting to watch a game. That's me every World Cup. I was glad to see you guys awake, and it was wonderful. We'll dissect the game in times, but essentially, you guys won, my team won. What a day! What a day! This is brilliant.
Exactly. It's a smelling podcast, and I have the FUT in Review Scottish Teddy here. He was celebrating with me early in the morning as well. But as you say, I think the World Cup has truly started today. That was my feeling. You know, feast of football, wasn't it? But let's get into the results then. So, first of all, we had Switzerland versus Qatar. Game 1 for us, Group B, and it ended 1-1. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on this game?
Oh, this one was a basket case of a game where Switzerland just couldn't get through the second goal. They tried their best. They tried as much as they could, just couldn't do it. And I think the last minute, almost pretty much the last minute equalizer from Qatar was completely against the run of play. It just happened. And it's a shame that they just couldn't make it happen in the end. But yeah, this is football. Stuff like this happens all the time in football.
No, definitely. I mean, I have to say, and I know John, our good Dutch friend, hates a cross, but that headed goal, that was spectacular, wasn't it?
No one could save it. And I think it was Gobert in goal, so it's not like it was a bad keeper, but the shot was unsavable header. It was brilliant.
No, absolutely. I mean, Hookie's goal is tremendous. You know, we had a penalty from Embolo, and I may have read this wrong, and forgive me, but I believe VAR didn't work for the penalty. Is that correct?
Oh, I didn't pick up on this. I didn't pick up on this at all.
Yeah, because it looks like that the defender is Freuler was brought down. Freuler was brought down, and it looks like he is offside. And I've had a quick scan through X to see what it was about, and I think they're saying that the VAR was down at that point because when we get to the Scotland game, VAR showed Shea Adams being onside. So, yeah, I think Qatar may feel a little hard done by. But, the celebrations at the end is what football's all about. And, you know, for Qatar, it's an amazing result, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think it's good for them. It's really good for them. And keeps everything really interesting and engaged if storylines like that develop every game. It's fun for us.
Yep. And then the second game, Group C. So Scotland's group started with, I think, possibly the second box office game of the tournament before tonight's game with Netherlands versus Japan is Brazil-Morocco. 2 top 10 teams, you know, playing really good football. And again, a 1-1 result, Shaq. What's your thoughts on that game?
It was a brilliant game. I think the first half especially. I think the first half where Morocco just came out of the speed at which they came out and the fluidity of passing. I was very, very, very impressed with the Moroccan team, and it needed a lot from Brazil, like a wonder goal from Vinícius to actually come back, but it was Morocco all the way. There was a 18-year-old midfielder today, I forget his name, but he was a huge guy running across the pitch, 18-year-old guy with long hair. He dominated play today, completely dominated play. It was fun to watch. Did you like the game?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good game. I must admit, you can always tell when it's tense when you look Ancelotti chewing gum. He must have a jaw. He could bite through a coconut. His jaw goes that many times. It's unbelievable. You know, I mean, the Vinny goal is what you expect from one of the world's great players, isn't it?
Oh, brilliant goal! It was. I think there was a defensive mistake from Hakimi, and that led Vinny to be slightly against someone that shouldn't be in that position. But what a brilliant goal! You can't take that away from him. I think Brazil, the midfield really surprised me. Casemiro and Bruno Guimarães were terrible in midfield. It was really bad, and it was so bad that an 18-year-old was dominating them.
Uh-huh.
And Casemiro had a yellow card and got taken away at halftime.
Mm-hmm. I mean, looking at those two, I mean, they are one of the favourites, probably the big favourites that have actually played so far. There's still big teams to come. Do you see any of those two going as far as possible?
Brazil, I think there's still a lot of things missing in this Brazilian team. They don't really have. I think Igor Thiago had a really bad day. The midfield's really bad, so I don't really see. This is not the vintage Brazilian team. I think Rafinha and Vini are the only two people, but it's really hard to make them play when they're on the other side of the pitch. So it's really hard for them to click together. Morocco is a team that I have a feeling, again, it could be one of those surprise teams that can pull themselves into maybe semis, quarterfinals at least. That'll be fun, and they were just terrific to watch. Really good to watch.
Ah, good. And then we go to the big game for everybody. Well, actually, maybe it's the hors d'oeuvre for the big game just coming up. So what we've got is Scotland versus Haiti. No, this is not Italia 90. We are not listening to Pavarotti singing. Scotland have finally won after 36 years a game in the World Cup final. And typical Scottish fashion, it was a scrappy goal. So just how did you watch the game as well, Shaq?
I did. I was watching every minute of the game, and I think I was egging on for Scotland to actually score, and it was a scrappy goal, but it just went in. It just needed that special bit of magic for the ball to go in, and it did. And since I think I was expecting Scotland to do more after that, but I think they got slightly confused as to what to do from there on in, and Haiti they had a goal in them. They really felt like they had a goal in them.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, for me, the Boston Stadium was rocking. It felt like a true football match. That many Scots being there as well. And I think it's a bit of Haiti heartbreak, actually, because they played exceptionally well. I think they dominated the game, if you have to be honest about it. And truthfully, sitting watching the game last night, I was thinking to myself, we draw this, we are not taking any points off Morocco and Brazil. The start of the show, we said, will one win be enough? A 1-0 win as well. I'm a little bit nervous, I'm being honest with you, Shaq.
I think the good thing is because there's 48 teams and the way the qualifying happens, I think you guys will sneak through, and that's okay. That's good. That's really good. But there needs to be something that clicks into gear after this. We can't have the same performance again as the first game. It was Look, you got to win. You got the win. McDominay tried to do as much as he could. You actually got the win, so we should be happy for that. But we just need to expect this team to do better in the next round, even if it's against Morocco. Try to find it more than just getting a result. Play better. You've got to, if you really want to progress, if you really care about progressing.
No, I'll be honest with you. If he parks the bus for 94 minutes or 96 minutes in these games now, and we get a 0-0, we'll be absolutely celebrating and delighted. And then we have a free hit against, I think, Brazil at that point. But I'm hosting today. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about. Well, I'm not going to talk about Australia versus Turkey. I'm going to just sit back and let my good friend Shaq wax lyrical about his team.
Absolutely, I would love that. So with the game, I'm sure it was a blockbuster for us because there was a huge expectation from this particular Australian team. And one of the things that came up just before, which I will talk about later on as well, we've had a complete change. Our captain and vice captain were removed, and there's no explanation as to why they were not playing today. There's no injury, and they put two players on the pitch. One was a goalkeeper, Matt Ryan, who plays in La Liga. We put a random goalkeeper in. Beach had a brilliant game, had a great amount of saves, and the Australian team it can play a 0-0 game any day of the week. They're really good at defensively, the shape that they maintain. They know their roles really well. Any defensive aficionado, Italian football person would love the way the Australian team's currently playing. And then they have some bright sparks with Irankunda as well as, it was a brilliant performance. We had a great time watching this team. The first goal from a 20-year-old, he's a sensation. He's just made us super happy. And along with that, we had another belter from outside the box for the second goal. And Turkey tried their best to open the door, but they just kept being stuck at the gates.
I mean, I don't think it's it might come as a shock to some of our listeners, but Australia's not really a football nation, is it? Will this spark something in the nation, do you think?
Hopefully. Look, at this point in time, I must say that there's a number of people that are supporting Australia in Vancouver at the World Cup that are spending huge amounts of money to actually get the tickets and go all the way there and support the team. The support is there. But for the amount of success, qualifying is something that Australians have taken for granted, but it's not something that used to happen in the past. It's really hard to qualify. Like, look at yourselves. When was the last time Scotland actually qualified for the World Cup? 1998. So it's a big thing to qualify. So I think a lot of Australians have taken that sort of as a rite of passage. But I'm hoping some good performances like today will spark. Like, my kids are just bouncing up and down after the game. They're just buzzing because it's just such a great feeling to actually be involved in the World Cup and have some connection with it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
No, and as you say, hopefully that goal with Irankunda will spark something in the young Australians who want to, and then we'll have the next batch of young Australian players coming through, isn't it?
Exactly. There'll be a brand new batch. So this particular batch is the young batch as well. So all the people on the pitch, the guys from Feyenoord, there's actually our left back was placed for Feyenoord, and he was brilliant, young fella. Irankunda, 20-year-old. We've got lots of young talent that actually plays really well, and that's all coming together. The old guard, which we had for the Tim Cahills of the time, they were brilliant, but this team has some dynamism.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. So that's a real recap of the shows. There's some blockbuster games coming up tonight as well. John's team, Netherlands versus Japan. I think that is a blockbuster game, and it's going to be one well worth watching. But as always, we're going to do our ballers, we're going to do our bottlers, and we're going to do the drama as well. So, first bottler of the day is John McGinn. 85 caps for Scotland. He's been through every qualifying campaign, every near miss, every heartbreak of the last decade. He was there when Scotland went to Euro 2020. He was there when we went to 24. Last night in Foxborough, at the age of 30, he scored Scotland's first goal in the World Cup for 26 years. A deflected finish from inside the box. Not the prettiest goal you ever see, but the noise that followed it, Boston literally shaking, told you everything about what the moment meant. Liam McLeod said it perfectly. It's a country that's been on the outside looking for him in far too long, denied access to the mother of all parties, and let's be honest, us Scots can party. So McGinn opened the door. Scotland are top of Group C. I'll say that again. Scotland are top of Group C. And the question now, the only question is whether one win is going to be enough, because Morocco is next. Shaq, do you think one win's going to be enough?
I personally think, Chris, one goal should be enough, should be sufficient for Scotland to go through to the next round. And that's better than what you've done for the past 28 years. And that's better than you've done in a long time. So have you qualified from the group stages ever in the World Cup?
We have qualified as many times as the Netherlands have won the World Cup. An absolute zero.
That was awesome. That was so good.
I have to get my good friend John back. So let me just explain that. I have to get my good friend John back, because there is a bell that every time you get a 5-star review in the podcast, it goes off in my house, and it has been ringing constantly, keeping me up all night. So, yeah. So I'll let you continue, my friend.
That's so good. So I think this is, if you guys get through the group and qualify to the next round, that is progress. And I think that's probably what you should be expecting and that's good enough. I think that's good enough.
Yeah. No, look, fingers crossed. I think it may take, I've had a look, I think 3 points and potentially a 0 goal difference, but that'll be impossible for us now, because if we get beat at least once, then we're going to have a problem with a goal difference. So we need at least a draw, I think, somewhere. But fingers crossed, you know what I mean? So fingers crossed, here we go. But let's go to baller number 2, and I think it's Nestory Irankunda. 19 years old, only plays for Watford in the Championship, and last night he started a World Cup match against Turkey. One of the perennial dark horses on most tournaments.
Yeah.
Yep, in a role specifically designed by Tony Popovich to exploit space behind Turkey's aggressive fullbacks. He ran at them, he was direct, he was fearless, and he scored in the 27th minute. Australia's plan was built around him. It worked perfectly. The context matters here, though. Popovich dropped his captain, his vice-captain, to start this kid in a World Cup opener. That's an enormous call. The easy thing would have been to go for experience, to trust the players who have been there before. Instead, he went with a 19-year-old playing in the English Championship, and the 19-year-old scored. How good is Irankunda?
He is incredible. I think the thing is, when he burst out to the scene, when he debuted for the Socceroos, he scored a couple of goals on his debut as well. So this kid's got some special sauce in him. He's actually gone to Bayern, things didn't work out, and he's moved across to Watford. He's got a lot of talent in him. And I think from an Australian point of view, watching this kid has something special that I've been noticing for the past couple of years, and it's finally great to see him do it on a world stage. And that's it. This is his biggest accomplishment in life on the footballing pitch, so be it. You scored a goal of the World Cup. That's pretty special.
I mean, is this, as I said earlier, is this the start of something big for Australian football?
I genuinely hope so. I really hope so, because if this brand of football takes on, because if you looked at FIFA's made this beautiful little graph that shows the momentum during the games. I'm not sure if you actually have seen it and whether you like it, Chris. I really think it's very interesting, because if you look at some of the games, the way that they're panning out, it's just spikes for the team that's actually in possession. But then today, Turkey had most of the spikes all the way through the game, but Australia had a couple of spikes, and we won the game 2-0. And that's just it. It was exactly how the game went through. There was a game plan. Leave the ball with Turkey. We're not going to sit back. We'll just hold our shape, kept holding our shape. Turkey just couldn't break them through, and they had the counter ready to go.
Yeah, no, it's a great result. An absolute amazing result, because I think people feel that might be Turkey's time.
Yeah. After the year Arda Güler has had at Madrid, they've got Çalhanoğlu. They've got really good talent. They've got Yildiz, who was actually came on as a sub. He didn't start the game because of a small nickel. But this is a really talented squad. This is not a squad that you just take lightly. So this particular team was held back, and the Aussies scored 2 against them. It's not an easy feat. So, and also the other thing is, in this group you have USA and Paraguay as well. So, and USA had a massive game against Paraguay. So it was imperative for the teams to win today. So yeah, good luck. Great work on the Socceroos.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think you're through, mate. If I'm being honest with you, I think you guys are through.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Definitely. And then we move to the bottler then. So we go to Switzerland. Touted as dark horses, made their 13th World Cup appearance, arrived in California having topped the UEFA qualifying group, conceding just 2 goals in 6 matches. And then they played Qatar, a team that went with 0 points as hosts in 2022. And they drew. The numbers are genuinely remarkable. 26 shots, an expected goals value of 3.24. That means on average, if you played the game 10 times with the same chances, Switzerland scores 3 goals. They scored 1 from the penalty spot. Diane Doy alone squandered 3 big chances, and because they couldn't kill it off, Qatar get a corner knife in it, hang it to the back post, and Bouzlam Houké powers a header in to make it 1-1. A draw that was 3 seconds away from being Switzerland win. For a country that is notable for their timepieces, not really to see the game out is surprising. Is this Switzerland's most embarrassing result in recent memory? Sky Sports confirmed it was the 3rd latest equaliser in World Cup stage history. Oh, and they wore lime green kits inspired by the inside pages of their passports, apparently instead of the white, which confused every single fan and commentator who turned in expecting the traditional Swiss white. A bad result and an unusual colour, not the statement day Switzerland was hoping for. So, for you, Shaq, is Switzerland's dark horses credentials gone? Can they recover from this?
Switzerland are one of those teams that always pop up and do something strange in a tournament, kick off a big, massive giant and just go their merry way and get out. I think this was a gimme, almost like a gimme can be in a World Cup game, and Switzerland cocked it up. And it's a strange situation now that they find themselves where in this particular World Cup where it's easy enough to qualify. I hope they bounce back and have a good performance in the next couple of games.
I mean, are we being a bit remiss to not talk about the joy of Qatar scoring that last-minute equaliser?
Yeah. I think it was brilliant. The goal, everything about it was brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and everything. I mean, I have to say, they were well backed. There was a lot of Qatari fans in the stadium as well.
That's correct. That was a bit shocking. I was a bit shocked at the number of Qatari fans in the stadium, and brilliant. That's nice to see.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. No, definitely. And now we're going to move to the drama, and I can see Shaq smiling here. We're going to talk about
So, sorry, Chris, but I know we've got a running sheet now. I was going to talk about the Popovich drama, but I've already referenced that information there. But I think I just want to get your take on another drama that I think is probably more universally applicable is the thing that happened in Brazil. There was a lot of expectations for Carlo Ancelotti with this particular team. I really want to get your take. And I think that is the drama for today in the sense that Brazil, like any other big team, when things go well, it's okay. It's brilliant. When things go badly, things just capitulate. And that's happened even at home when they had the World Cup. This time around, today should have been a statement performance, with a brand new era. We're going to go in. This is going to be our World Cup. People are not taking us seriously. And the performance was abject. And I think it's Ancelotti, some of his decision making of including Igor Thiago, for example, didn't really work out. The midfield was in shambles. It just didn't work out. That he had to make a change of a right back and remove Casemiro at halftime. This is going to actually sting them. So from a drama angle do you think Brazil will recover from this, or do you think this is going to be a painful couple of days for Brazil?
I think it'd be painful. You've got a nation where, football is up there with the religion. You know what I mean? It is up there. But I think part of it is if you speak to football fans who are not super in depth and you go, Brazil versus Morocco, you go, well, that's an easy win for Brazil, African team. And that actually you don't realise is, hold on a minute, you have the potential. Is Morocco the African champions or not? Nobody's quite sure at this point in time. A bit of tug of war going on with the cup. But I think that is a football fan's lack of knowledge sometimes. Not guys on this show or people who maybe listen to it. But, I said to my wife Lara last night, I says, Morocco versus Brazil, what do you think? She went, Brazil smashed them. I says, when Scotland play Morocco, she's like, we'll beat them, no problem. And then realising that Morocco is a top 10 team. And that, I think, is the difference. I think what we're seeing is like a new world order coming in. I think as well, is football now becoming the global game that it is? But we've seen teams where, if you think about it, even Haiti last night have players playing in the Premiership as well. And I was surprised how good they were. So a sort of long-winded answer to what you'd asked me was, yeah, I think Brazil will bounce back. But is this a vintage Brazilian team? I don't think so. I don't think they're up there with the big favourites, the England, the France, the Spains of this world, the Argentinas.
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of people just assume, even including myself, as soon as Ancelotti was there, he knows how to get the best out of people, taking the likes of Neymar, for example, really meant a lot to the country. And I think I got absorbed in that emotion. And then looking at them actually play on the pitch, I quickly realized, this is not going to work. This is painful. Yeah. It's like, they just don't have the tools in the box to actually make this work. And yeah, the expectations are just going to bury them alive.
Yeah. I mean, I think, from that point of view, we do have to talk about your young goalkeeper coming in as well, though. And if his nickname's No Bondi, then we've got a bit of a problem.
Patrick Beach, 22-year-old from Melbourne City. His previous 2 appearances for Australia came against Venezuela and a warm-up against Switzerland. He's never played a competitive match for his country before last night. Not one. Before today. And Popovich put him in goal and for the World Cup opener against Turkey with Guler, Çalhanoğlu, I keep getting that name right, Hakan, and a squad of great people. And he just kept on going and saving goal after goal after goal, and clean sheet, massive clean sheet for Australia. So what a way to make a debut on the big stage. Brilliant.
Yeah, no. And another clean sheet, and that you're almost, 2 clean sheets, I think you'd qualify second at least, maybe even top. That's the thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we should be fine. I think defensively we're solid, and if this game plan works, we're fine.
No. Look, it's been a great day, I think, for you and I. It's normal that 2 of us could be smiling at the same time. It's been an absolutely wonderful feast of football, as I say, and I think we've got some jackpot games coming up as well today. And Curacao, you never know, can they spring the surprise on Germany? We just have to wait and see. But one thing for sure, we will be back next week. So day 3 is done. Scotland topped the group for the first time in World Cup history. Brazil, drop points and underperform. Australia smashing it as well. Switzerland throw away a dominant performance. Day 4 is already set up to be massive. But before we go, please follow us on Instagram at Foot In Review and at TikTok at Foot In Review Podcast. Those 5-star reviews, we absolutely love them. Please keep them coming in. Yes, the bell does go off in my office every time you do one, so it's absolutely amazing. It takes literally seconds. So once you're finished listening to this podcast, you think, those guys have been amazing, I'm up for it, give us a 5-star review. Please share this episode. So if someone wants to hear about Beach or hear about McGinn or hear about the wonderful Qatari equalise, let's pass it on to them. And for our Patreon supporters, again, thank you so much. This will already be in your feed. The Prediction League is live. The links are in the show notes. So day 4 tomorrow, Germany, Netherlands, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, Sweden, Tunisia, 6 games. We have it all. I'll see you all then. Thank you.